everyone. It's Lorie Brown from yournurseattorney.com and empowerednurses.org. And you are joining us for the Hey Nurses, What's Next? How 21 nurses became business owners and successful entrepreneurs. And today I'm super excited to have with us Sharon Weinstein. Sharon, welcome.
Thank you so much, Lorie. I'm happy to be here.
I am thrilled. I'm really excited. You guys are going to get so much value from today. So let me tell you a little bit about Sharon first. Sharon is the CEO of SMW Group LLC and president and founder of Sharon M. Weinstein and the Global Education Development Institute. She specializes in workforce-related issues impacting a balanced lifestyle, total wellness, nursing, patient, staff safety, and stress management. Sharon's a native from Philadelphia and had her nursing education in a Pennsylvania hospital, followed by undergraduate and graduate programs in Florida and Texas. And prior to her commitment to work-life balance, Sharon worked 100 hours per week, 3 countries per week, until she missed a family event because of a flight delayed in Eastern Europe. The plane had contraband on board and the delay extended for 4 days. Can you imagine being stranded for 4 days? Sharon realized that she needed to shift her paradigm and get a life, and that's exactly what she did. She is a graduate of the Kellogg Executive Management Program and a fellow of the American Academy of Nursing. She is a clinical assistant professor in the Department of Nursing at the University of Illinois Chicago College of Nursing, former Associate Dean of Speakers Academy and past president of the National Speakers Academy, DC, and past president of the Infusion Nurses Society, and a member of the Professional Advisory Board for Purdue University Global. So, wow, that's a lot, Sharon. That's amazing. You've had an incredible career. So I'm so thrilled to have you with us. So I would like you to talk to the nurses who are listening about your business.
I started my business in 2002, and as Lorie indicated, I had been working a lot of hours. And because I worked so many hours, it never really bothered me. When you said, can you imagine going back and not being able to fly out for 4 more days? I did that so many times, sometimes for 2 weeks at a time. This was different because it was my son's engagement party. And when it was his engagement party and I wanted to be there, because I thought, well, engagement party, they'll get married, they'll have kids. I've missed so much of my own kids' lives. There is no way that I ever wanted to miss grandchildren. And so the whole idea was, let me get out of here. But the contraband, and you know that I have an IV drug background. I taught IV therapy and nutrition support for 30 years. I thought it would be drugs, and it wasn't drugs. It was butter and sausage, a pound of each. And when that happened, I thought, there is totally no way. This doesn't work for me. It really doesn't work. So yes, I did go back to the hospital. I did work a few more days. And then finally, when I got home, I had already made up my mind. And I went to an individual who had subcontracted with my boss for a piece of me. And that piece was the 100 hours a week. That's a big piece. That was only half the job. And I just said, if I form an LLC, you contract with me for me instead of them for me. That way I could quit my job, which also took me to Australia, New Zealand, Cape Verde, West Africa, and a bunch of other places in my spare time. And I could concentrate only on what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, and with whom I wanted to do it. And the guy in DC said, absolutely. So I was on an 8 contract with the State Department for about 2 years after I first started my business, which gave me a 6-figure business without the 6-figure headache. And that's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
At the same time, I formed a not-for-profit. And the not-for-profit picked up where my regular job left off and allowed me to still do some of that do-good sorts of things, the giving back, the taking care of people who have no funding, no money, no education, no process, no practice. And I put on my board the best chief nursing officers from my hospitals, from my hospital group. So that was great.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So it sort of was out of necessity to start your own business, right? Because you couldn't continue this.
I missed so much you cannot imagine. It was ridiculous. I loved my work though. I loved it. I made a huge impact, but
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. But when you, like for me, I started the same way. I was a partner in a law firm, and the law firm went out of, or not the law firm, my biggest client went out of business, and they're like, sorry, you don't have a job. And I was pregnant with my second child and had to kind of reinvent myself. So sometimes out of necessity comes some amazing things.
Exactly. And you never look back, right? You love every
Yeah.
moment of it, don't you?
Every moment. And
Yeah,
what my
exactly.
partners didn't know is I was pregnant with my second child. And so I never wanted to miss those things with my kids too. So I get it completely.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. So what was your biggest fear that you've had to overcome in going out on your own?
That's an interesting question because my primary employer had been a consortium of 2,500 hospitals. I had a big network. I had all of the people I ever wanted to meet with. I had places that I could go and get people who would then contract with me, perhaps for speaking, for consultation, for coaching, for something. But of course, as you know, there could be a conflict of interest because that had been my employer. So while there was no paperwork that had to be signed that said that I couldn't interfere in their business in any way because I wasn't even in the same business, I still had reservations about reaching out. And I guess I thought I was a little bit afraid of it. I thought, will I still have the same credibility because I don't have that title?
Mm-hmm.
Have that title and that business card and it's in 2 languages. It looks really impressive.
Yeah.
On the outside that you know what you're doing, and that's what's important. But on the inside, I think we all at some point have some reservations about, will I be able to succeed? Will I continue to gain clients? After this government piece is done, fine, that will cover me for 2 years, but then what happens? What's next? And how can I put together a business plan and the steps, what I call the GPS, the goals, the process, the systems that are going to get me where I need to go so that when that money is gone, I have a real solid business.
Mm. Well, you brought up a couple of really good points I wanted to touch on. The first being is your network. Like, never, for those of you listening, never underestimate the power of your network. You know so many people, and I always say that your net worth is the size of your network. So,
Right.
yeah. So don't cast aside what you've already built and all those relationships already.
And don't ever burn a bridge. That's probably the most important thing. You may have had terrible bosses your entire life, but they're still your buddies, they're still your pals, and don't ever burn that bridge. Because even somebody with whom you used to work and you no longer like could show up 5 years later, even if you're not in business but working for someone else, and that person could become your boss again. And you've perhaps shunned them or done something that was really negative. You never want to do that. It doesn't matter how horrible they were.
It is. It's true. And I always say, if you smell the handwriting on the wall, you can always get another job, but you can't get another license. Just leave and go with a smile on your face and your head held high, and leave in dignity.
That's brilliant advice. I love it. You're right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. So, what was the biggest mistake you made in your business?
That's an easy one, and I wish it had been easy then. But I really want to empower all new nurses starting their own business to make sure that you surround yourself with people who have the skill sets that you don't have. Don't bring on a bunch of people as consultants or contractors who do exactly what you do and do it as well as you do it. You must fill those gaps. And for many of us, gosh, it depends, I guess, on how old you are, but for many of us, it's the social media piece, it's the marketing piece, it's the graphic design, it's all of those kinds of things, the sales piece. That's not something that we as nurses, even though we sell ourselves every day, have ever really had to do to produce an income. And so the biggest mistake, I think, was not bringing on enough people who were different, who had a different set of skills that would help me to build. And then I also underestimated the value of interns, Lorie. I had no idea what value could be placed on interns, and that if you have a graduate degree and you agree to mentor an intern in return for grades, you get basically free work from some really sharp minds.
Yep. Great suggestion. Yeah, at first when I did the same thing. When I started my business, I was in my son's bedroom and I did everything. And I am lousy at accounting. I'm lousy. God knows how many things I did not bill because I just forgot. But you know, when you're first starting out, you want to be the chief, the cook, and the bottle washer. And the best thing that ever happened to me was I had part-time secretaries for at least the first 5 years maybe, and then one quit, and I found somebody who was amazing because I always hire on their characteristics, not the skill set, because I could teach that. So I always, you know, are they good with people? What kind of people skills do they have? What's their character, their core values? That's what I hire on. And she said, I want full time. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I said yes. And every time you say yes to something that you're afraid of, it makes you way more money. It just does how it works, because it frees you up to do what you're great at. Don't spend your time doing the things that you're not great at.
I think that's good advice. I'm smiling because in my newest book, I say, don't say yes when you mean to say no, because too many yeses will also get you into a rut from a standpoint of just sanity, work-life balance, and everything else associated with it. You can't have all yeses. There have to be a few no's, but I agree with you. Taking that leap and bringing on that individual full-time when you could have had, if you couldn't afford it and you thought, well, I'll just bring on a virtual VA, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. There's so many other people I could work with. But you saw something in that individual and you wanted to bring them on board, right?
And she's still with me and just celebrated her 7th year anniversary.
So that's exciting. She was the right person for you at the right time. Maybe
Totally.
a little premature, and maybe you had to pinch a few more pennies. But in the long run, you're right.
And so another thing that you mentioned was about like the social media and all the things that we do as business owners to get our business going. And I just want to share with the viewers out there, don't worry about any of that when you first start. Just talk to people and get some clients first. People aren't going to find you on the internet if they don't even know who you are or know what to search for. So just start talking to people. You don't need to worry about all of the behind, unless you're, you know, opening an agency or something like that. You don't need a website right away. You don't need brochures right away. Just hone in on your skills and what you're doing, especially if you have a one-on-one type of service.
I would agree with you. And there are so many other ways to do it now, Lorie, that are so much more economical than when I first started out. I hired someone to do all the graphic design, to design a very fancy 2-part business card, to do this, to do that, to have beautiful folders that just matched everything, and they were 3-color and they were gorgeous. And I spent a fortune, and that is not what we want to do. You can go to some of the online services like Upwork and Fiverr, and you can hire somebody who will work for $5, $10, $25, and create a mass of things that can get you started. At least put a business card in your hand so you have something to hand someone when you go to meet with them. At least have an email address, something. And most people don't even realize that they could also get a free Google telephone number. They don't need to use their cell phone number or their home number. They get a number that's tied to their cell phone, and it goes through, and they pick and choose. Do they want to answer or not? Press 1 if you'd like to. And if not, it will go into voicemail, and you look like you have a credible business with a business number.
That's great. That's Google Voice. Yes, you mentioned Fiverr, Upwork, and Google Voice. So we'll put all those in the show notes for you. So don't worry about that. We've got you. But let's go back to Fiverr and Upwork. They both have people from out of the country doing work. And that's beautiful that we get to share and help other people in developing countries as well, who are brilliant and do a great job.
Well, and to me, if I send something out at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I know that at 7 a.m. it's going to be on my desk, because somebody somewhere is going to be working on it while I'm asleep. And then I'll get that copy, and then I'll have it available to me. If it's later than that, then I have to realize I probably won't see it until the next day, but I need to be patient. Plus, the other thing is you get to pick and choose. If you want someone who is an American English student, someone who has studied our English and isn't going to change every word, like orthopedic and favor it to the Queen's English, O-U-R-I-T-E, and all sorts of other things. My husband speaks the Queen's English because he's from Canada. So I'm accustomed to those kinds of words over all of these years. But if you want someone to do it in the same language that you have written it, and when they're doing their editing and their proofreading, to make it look like your own words and not change things so that they're out of context, you get to pick and choose. Yes, this person from the UK did a book for me, and he was amazing. There's a guy from Texas who did a book for me, and he could not write a sentence. He missed a typo here, there, and everywhere. He added extra letters. He spoke Texas English. I'm not sure. I lived in Texas for 8 years, but I never noticed there was a difference in the English.
That's funny. So the point of this whole conversation is you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. It's part of the process, and it doesn't mean you fail at all. It just means that you have had learning experiences. Thomas Edison had tried to create the light bulb over 1,000 times. Yeah, and said somebody said to him, well, you failed that many times, and he said, I didn't fail. I just learned how not to create a light bulb. So exactly. You're going to make mistakes, and that's hard for nurses because as nurses, we are taught don't make a mistake. You know, human lives are on the line. You can't make a mistake. You have to be perfect. But in business, you are going to make mistakes. That is just part of the package.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
So Sharon, what do you like best about your practice and what you do?
I love, and I guess it's part of that whole being of a nurse. So, you know, nurses come from that earth personality in ancient Chinese medicine where they take care of everybody else before they take care of themselves. You know, the laundry is done, the dishes are done, the lunches are packed, this is done, that's done, everything is done for everyone else. In my business, which is coaching, consulting, and speaking, and teaching other people how to speak, I still get to help people. I still get to do things for other people. I get to see them grow. And when I do that and I see a smile on their faces and I realize that they've nailed the thing and that they've got it and they feel really good about what they're doing and about our relationship and how we're working cohesively to make them better, that makes me feel great. I also like the freedom. As I said, I'm working when I want to work. I'm working 35, maybe 40 hours a week. Maybe if I put in a lot of hours one day, I'm going to take off the next 2 days. And I couldn't do that in a regular job, if you will. I have the freedom to do what I want, whom I want, when I want to do it, and to pick and choose my clients. There are clients to whom I've said no, simply because there was not a good fit. It wasn't that much money that I wanted to work with someone who would waste my time and make me miserable. Because one of the things that brings us the greatest joy, I think, in life is surrounding ourselves with people who bring out the best in us as well and make us feel good about what we do.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street.
And in nursing, you can't choose your patients. You're assigned to them. But in your business, you can. And one of the most freeing things that I've been able to do is say no to certain clients that aren't the best fit, but be able to refer them to somebody else who can help.
Exactly. I'm happy to refer them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't believe in competition. I always say if there's a pie with 8 slices, well, we'll just make more pie. There's plenty of people out there, and you might resonate more with one person than me as nurse business coach, but there's plenty of us out there who can help.
It's interesting that you said that because the whole theme of the National Speakers Association, of which I'm also the volunteer certified speaking professional chair for this year, is this concept of the pie. We use the pie as our logo in certain places, and we always say the pie is big enough. There's enough business for everybody out there. We have the privilege of being able to refer to others what we cannot do, but is not a good fit for us. And that's great.
It is. And so I know this is going to come up because we have other National Speaker Association members going to be speaking. And so can you share with our viewers what the National Speakers Association is and how there are so few nurses and how to get involved?
Well, that's interesting. I have no idea how many nurses there are at this time. At one point, I thought I counted about 27.
Yeah.
There are 3 of us now who are certified speaking professionals and also fellows of the Academy. The National Speakers Association is a professional membership group, just like you would join the Orthopedic Nurses Association or the Oncology Nurses Society. It is only speakers. And there are people who train and people who do keynotes and people who do other types of entertainment. I'm not an entertainer, but I'm telling you, we have some people who do some pretty amazing things. continue to blow my mind. It's a professional membership society that is based in Arizona, and they have an annual meeting every summer, sometime between July and August. And then they have a winter conference. It's like a 2-day program, and then a video lab as well. And then a summit only for the people who have reached this level of certified speaking professional. So that is limited to only 75 people, even though I believe there are 17% of the speaking population worldwide that is in fact certified. But the meeting itself, that summit, is only limited to the first 75 people. And why? Because they bring in professional mastermind experts, and they facilitate the meeting, and they teach us what we don't yet know. And they teach us how to glean information from our colleagues and our peers and learn to be better at what we're doing at our own craft. So there are local chapters as well. I believe right now there are 38 local chapters. You can look them up online. You can attend a meeting. I think there's a small fee in most chapters just to attend, but it's a great opportunity. I wish we had more nurses.
Yes.
I really do.
I agree. I think that when you go to CE programs, sometimes I'm just bored to death at the content, but yet when I hear you speak, I am just like so excited and inspired, and I have action steps. You make it fun and exciting and a great learning opportunity.
Let me just tell you that if you go to a presentation that is offered by somebody who's a member of NSA, you will never see somebody's doctoral dissertation on a slide. You will never see 75 lines of text. You might see 3 bullet points and a picture. Only pictures. Most of us speak only with a picture as the background. Because if you know your stuff, you don't need the rest. Nobody stands at a lectern. Just don't do it. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So what advice would you have for nurses who want to leave traditional nursing roles and start their own business?
My advice in this economy, taking into account where we are right now, is if you're financially solid and you think you can walk away and start your own thing, go for it, and go for it 100%. If you don't feel that you have that type of security, I would keep on to a part-time job and reduce my number of hours and start slowly to develop my own business and my own base and my plans in order to create a launch date, make sure I have a business plan, make sure I'm funded, and that I can move and go ahead. Don't rob from Peter to pay Paul. Don't use your mortgage or your rent money to fund your business.
Right.
You need to actually, if you have a serious business, you want to be a serious business person. But the other thing that I think is even more critical, Lorie, for all of us who have gone this route, is to follow your dream. If there's something that you know that you can do that's going to add value to the lives of others, just go for it. Be the very best that you can be. Take a chance on it. Of course, get involved with NNBA. It is the resource for nurse entrepreneurs. It is the resource that's going to provide for you the information that you need and the peer group, the network that you need.
And that's the
on solid ground.
Yeah, and that's the National Nurses in Business Association. And Michelle's Podlesny is actually one of our guests as well.
Oh,
so
good. Okay.
So be sure to check out her video as well. But what you said made so much sense. I always say that if you dream it, you can achieve it. You would not have this, I don't know what you call it, a hunch, a download, whatever you want to call it, a desire to have your own business if you couldn't fulfill it. I have no desire to be a marathon runner. I am built like a terrier instead of a greyhound. No desire, but whatever it, and I have built 4 businesses, but whatever I've had the desire to do, I've always been able to achieve it. So you've been able to achieve going to nursing school and graduate. You can certainly achieve having your own business if that's what you want to do.
And if you think about it, Lorie, I've always used my nursing platform to escalate me on to the next big thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I
Definitely.
used that platform and the base of information that I gleaned from a 3-year program to go on to a bachelor's degree, to go on to a master's degree, to go on to certification, to go on to the Kellogg School, but always using that nursing platform to drive me forward. And as nurses, we have that special gift that not everybody else has to start out with. We understand people. We understand communication. We know how to relate to people. We know what to say and what not to say. And it makes us so much more skilled because we have seen people across that continuum of life, and it makes all the difference in the world.
It does. I think nurses are uniquely qualified to have their own business because we have critical thinking skills, we have excellent prioritization, we have great judgment, we're organized, and as you said, the people skills. We know how to problem solve. We are the greatest inventors of workarounds that there is because—
No kidding, the biggest jerry riggers of all time.
yeah. So you have everything you need. So if this is something that you're passionate about, go for your dreams. You don't want to be on your deathbed saying, gosh, I wish I would have done that. And what I hear most people saying, me included, is I wish I would have done this earlier.
Yeah, I wish that I had as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that I had.
But it happens when it happens, and it happens when you're ready for it to happen too.
It happens for a reason.
Yes. Yes. Sharon has been so generous to give us this amazing gift, a free gift for all of you. And it's, as of the date we're taping this, it came out yesterday. So it's, are you ready to recharge your battery? Could you share with our audience what that is?
Sure. Are you ready to recharge your battery? Secrets of Work-Life Balance is a very short read. It's about 102 pages max. I promise you, you can finish within 30 to 35 minutes. There are 4 sections that each have specific details that relate to things like engagement, not with a ring, engagement in terms of being engaged, the other kind of engagement. Things like negotiating for salaries and for all kinds of things, negotiating in business, the kinds of things that you need. The wages of stress. What does stress cost you in terms of relationships, family, health, society, your work, yourself, your time, your money? There are 4 sections that have a real strong message. And what I say to people is, if you feel as if you have no control over your time and your money, if you feel as if overwhelm knows your address and is following you around and knows where to find you at home and at work, and if you feel as if you are just totally distraught from a standpoint of not being able to control yourself, your time, and your resources, this is the book for you. It has strong takeaways, special lessons at the end of each section, and it's great.
Well, I can't wait to read it, and I thank you so much, and I'm sure the reader will be grateful to receive this. So Sharon, this was amazing speaking with you and having some time with you.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So grateful that you said yes to this, and I know that our audience has received tons of value from you, and thank you again.
And thank you for hosting. I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks. Wish all of you well.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye. See you on the next video.